Think all dogs love their owners unconditionally? Unfortunately, that's a myth. In this video, I'll share 9 critical signs that your dog doesn't like you that much. If you don't recognize these clues, you risk creating long-term resentment. And the final sign will leave you stunned. It's the most misunderstood behavior of all. But before we jump in, please like this video and hit subscribe to help us out. Now, let's decode your dog's behavior and find out where you stand. Number 9. Not all licks are loving kisses. Many people think dogs lick them because they love them. But licking is often about submission, not affection. In the dog world, licking shows they feel unsure or want to appease you. Your dog may lick you to avoid conflict. It's their way of saying, "I don't want trouble." Dogs also lick as a stress response. And you'll often see this paired with other tension signs like a stiff body posture, a tucked tail, or flattened ears. If these signs appear, it's not a friendly kiss. Licking may actually mean your dog feels nervous or unsure around you. Pay attention to when and how your dog licks. It might not be what you think. Number 8. When your return feels like a non-event. Does your dog ignore you when you walk through the door? A happy, well-connected dog greets you with energy, excitement, and tail wags. If your dog doesn't react or even avoids you, they may feel emotionally distant. This behavior can mean they lack trust in you, feel upset, or are generally unhappy. Dogs show love and attachment through play and interaction. If your dog refuses to engage, avoids playtime, or simply lays down instead of fetching a ball, this signals emotional withdrawal. Think about your bond with your dog. Are you giving them enough time, attention, and love? A distant dog often feels neglected, even if you don't realize it. Number 7. When treats lose their magic. Treats are a dog's favorite reward, but what if your dog refuses them? A dog that turns away from treats, especially ones they usually love, may be showing signs of discomfort, stress, or emotional distance. Your dog might feel uneasy around you, lack trust, or associate your presence with negative experiences. It's also possible they're feeling overwhelmed or anxious in the moment. If you see this, don't take it personally. Instead, rebuild that positive connection with your dog slowly. Start with gentle gestures and rewarding calm behaviors. Over time, they'll learn to trust you again, and the magic of treats will return. Number 6. The tail that tells a different story. A wagging tail can trick you into thinking your dog is happy, but that's not always true. Tail wags have many meanings, and the speed and position of the wag tell the real story. A high, fast wag usually shows excitement or confidence, while a low, slow wag often signals uncertainty or anxiety. If your dog's tail stiffens or stays in a low position, they're not feeling relaxed. They're telling you they're uncomfortable. Pay attention to their whole body, too. Combine tail movements with posture, eyes, and ears. A stiff body with a wagging tail is a warning, not a greeting. Don't assume all wags are good. Understanding your dog's tail language helps you see what they're truly feeling. Now, before moving on, I want to know your experience. What's the most surprising sign you've noticed that your dog might not be happy with you? Drop it in the comments below. I bet you'll be surprised to see how many others have the same experience. Number 5. When affection feels like too much. Did you know dogs avoid touch when they feel trapped? If your dog ducks their head when you reach out or sidesteps when you try to hug them, they may feel uncomfortable. Leaning away, freezing up, or turning their head are clear signs your dog isn't ready for affection. These moments often mean your dog feels unsafe or overwhelmed. Watch for smaller signals like lip licking, yawning, or stiff posture. These are stress indicators that you should not ignore. Dogs that feel secure will welcome gentle touch, while those who feel unsure will avoid it. Give your dog space when they need it, and let affection happen on their terms. Forcing closeness can push your dog further away. Number 4. Crossing lines you didn't know existed. Dogs have limits, just like people do. They may invade your space, like poking their nose in your face, but they expect you to respect their boundaries in return. If you cross these lines, they may growl or snap as a warning. These behaviors mean they feel insecure, defensive, or trapped. Pay attention to situations where this happens, like when they're resting, eating, or overwhelmed. Dogs communicate through subtle signals like freezing, backing away, or showing the whites of their eyes. Ignoring these warnings can damage trust and make your dog more distant. Respect their boundaries and give them space when they ask for it. A little understanding goes a long way in building a strong bond. Number 3. When your dog suddenly tunes you out. Does your dog seem to ignore you more and more? When dogs don't respond to commands or their name, it often means they're emotionally distant. Tuning you out isn't just stubborn behavior. It can signal a lack of connection or trust. Happy dogs listen and engage because they want to please you. When they stop responding, it's a red flag. Frustration, anxiety, or neglect can cause this selective hearing. Instead of scolding them, focus on rebuilding trust through positive interactions. Use rewards, gentle tones, and simple commands. A dog that feels secure and connected will naturally pay attention again. Number 2. The destructive side of a lonely dog. Did you know dogs destroy personal items because they miss you? Chewing shoes, cushions, or other things with your scent isn't always about boredom. Dogs feel comforted by your smell, especially when they're anxious or lonely. Destroying these items releases stress and helps them cope. If your dog chews while you're away for long periods, they're likely feeling neglected. This behavior is their way of expressing frustration or separation anxiety. Pay attention to when it happens, and make sure your dog has toys or items that can keep them busy. Dogs need structure, attention, and reassurance to feel secure. Number 1. The look that means back off. People often miss the warning in a dog's side eye, also known as whale eye. This happens when dogs show the whites of their eyes while turning their head slightly. Whale eye is a clear sign your dog feels nervous, stressed, or trapped. You may notice it during play, petting, or in situations where they feel cornered. It's their way of warning you to stop what you're doing. If you ignore this signal, it can escalate to growling, snapping, or worse. Pay attention to this look and what caused it. Respect your dog's need for space, and don't push them beyond their comfort zone. A calm, trusting dog rarely shows whale eye. Recognizing these subtle signs can make a huge difference in your relationship with your dog. If you're passionate about understanding your furry friend even better, we've got plenty more for you. Check out my other videos on dog behavior, training tips, and everything you need to keep your pup happy and healthy. There's so much more to discover.